What's up, guys? I'm back with a new viewer, the new for the YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the bell twice for post notification. I'm back, man. I had some technical difficulties going on, man. But we back right where we started off. Now, as I was, before I was rudely interrupted, I ain't even gonna read those, man. Wow. I said, I guess it's a code word now. Oh man, that was crazy. We're gonna skip right past it. I'm gonna go by it slow. We'll go by it slow. Yeah, I need to leave them folks alone. That's what I'm gonna say. Jesus Christ said that Satan appears as an angel of light. Do not be deceived, but test the spirit. Deep. $1 million is a ripoff of a contract, especially coming from the hey. I don't know what's wrong. Fact check on the Graham Norton show clip with the kids. Rest in heaven, y'all. This is when I think I seen this when I read this. Go back to the video. Hey aliens, come on in. Have a seat. Put your feet up. Want a cup of coffee, dude? That's crazy. No, you don't get a cup of coffee. Get the fuck on, alien. Let me stop that because it's probably some cool aliens, but you know what I mean. All right, let's go back to the video, man.
And you could talk about this. You used to work at a secret Starbucks, is that right? Yeah, there is a Starbucks that is like above reserve, like a Starbucks no one's ever heard of or been to. All right, have you ever wondered while driving in Los Angeles how come you've never seen like Will Smith stuck in traffic on the 405? Yeah, I've never seen a 1%er just in their car stuck in traffic. Why is that? That's because there's a series of intricate tunnels underneath Los Angeles known as the actor bond. I'm not kidding. Like, they get access points to move through the city without ever having to be in traffic. You can come up in LAX, you can pop up at Dodger Stadium. Underneath there, in those tunnels, is Starbuckses set up at different locations to allow them to get coffees while they're driving. All of them.
Seinfeld.
You've seen
Oprah.
Seinfeld down there?
Bono. I've seen Seinfeld down there. Dude, Almond milk latte, 2 shots.
Wow.
Yeah. Is he a good tipper? They don't have to pay.
Delete.
Is he a good tipper? They don't have to pay. So the
yeah, the weather is kind of shitty today. But every day is a beautiful day. Trust and believe that. I don't know, y'all. This is crazy. It seemed like to me.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first. Watch the...
pay. So this has been underneath Los Angeles for a few years now. I mean, how long has this been there for? I mean, it predates me. It seems like the city was built on top of it. So I mean, I think this goes all the way back to the 20s. This doesn't seem real almost. This is crazy. I imagine how I sound saying it to people.
Between the last video of the chick talking about the tunnels under the Getty Museum, it's hard.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, underground city is crazy. They've been having this though, man, probably since the 60s or before then. Like, this underground. I said undertown. What do they call them, man? I want to say catacombs. Is it catacombs? Well, anyway, it's underground. It's been underground things. I was watching something where they went down there. I don't know if it was London or something like that. They had bones on top of bones, and you can get lost down there. People living down there. There's all type of things going down there. But man, yeah, it's a wild, crazy world, man. So be cautious, man. Stay prayed up. Whatever spirituality that you're in, or because we are linked that way anyway, but you know, for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly, you know, we all connected. So that being said, you know, what else can you do? Live your life. Be respectful of others. Hold on, give me a second. This one, right? Yeah. Alright.
Snoop Dogg is gonna go down next.
Threw me off.
Tampa, Florida. Man, this is wild. Somebody, I think that's
Snoop
like
Dogg is gonna go down next. You're going to find out what Snoop
I
is
think
gonna.
that's one of them light things. That get a little fake Batman something. They just got like a little cloud of some smoke. Let some smoke out. You could let some, get the smoke machine. Let the shit go up, and then put the projection of what you want on that.
Doing all the time behind the scenes. That's why he was up there at the Olympics, which is a lost art now. We won't see any more Olympics. I mean, I guess they say it's going to come here, but I doubt it. So Snoop Dogg is now on his computer, delete. There's a thing called the Wayback Machine, by the way. But it's not only that. These rappers are one layer. So when you look in the mob, you look at people's kids, right? And they used to run the tracks, the money at the tracks and all of that. Those kids are one layer. Obviously, they're not the people running the whole thing. They are the muscle, they are the bodyguards, they are the whatever. There's another level up, and there's another level up above that. And what it's about is stopping you, me, and I like some rap music. It's not my forte per se, because we know I'm Aussie, that kind of music. But they take your creative, everybody's creative, and they block you.
The workers are visibly frightened by what they see as the figure disappears into the depths below. Though it's unclear what the creature actually is, it seems to have left the workers with a sense of fear and unease.
Long term, then you realize that eventually there will be some
Creative, everybody's creative, and they block you.
The workers are visibly frightened by what they see as the figure disappears into the depths below. Though it's unclear what the creature actually is, it seems to have left the workers with a sense of fear and unease.
If you think really long term, then you realize that eventually there will be some natural disaster, even if it is not made by humans, that destroys all life. So eventually the sun will expand and evaporate the oceans, and we'll be like Venus, so hot that no life can really exist, or maybe some chemotrophic bacteria. Eventually, even they will die. So the only way to prolong life as we know it is for us to become multiplanetary and ultimately multistellar. And if we do not do that, all life on Earth will die. So those who care about life on Earth should really care a lot about life becoming multiplanetary and ultimately multistellar.
When you read Elon's body language and everything like that, you know, he comes off seeming like he means no harm, but let's all keep our eyes on him just in case, you know what I mean?
About to show you is insane. This is a video from the Graham Norton show when Liam Payne had an interview and he started talking about P. Diddy and Jay-Z. Now, specifically in this video, there is something going on that's suspicious with the hosts of the show, especially when he mentions Jay-Z. Watch their hands. Their hand movements are
AlwayzA.Gaming. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell twice for post notification. That's good, man. Shoot.
So eventually the sun will expand and evaporate the oceans, and we'll be like Venus, so hot that no life can really exist. Or maybe some chemotrophic bacteria, but eventually even they will die. So the only way to prolong life as we know it is for us to become multiplanetary and ultimately multistellar. And if we do not do that, all life on Earth will die. So those who care about life on Earth should really care a lot about life becoming multiplanetary and ultimately multistellar.
When you read Elon's body language and everything like that, you know, okay.
The Graham Norton show, when Liam in this video, there is something going on that's. Watch their hands. Their hand movements are Graham Norton, and
Sat there looking in P. Diddy's eyes like, when is this going to end? The worst of it happened. The worst of it happened. There was a whole thing with Jay-Z and I went to lean in to speak to him.
Allegedly, entertainment purposes only.
You can't lean in to speak to Jay-Z. You're not allowed to lean in. And his bodyguard just like shoved me like this, and I went fine. Yeah. And his bodyguard just like shoved me like this, and I went fine.
as soon as he mentioned Jay-Z, they did that. They looked away, they put their hands together and put it in their lap. That's weird. Am I the only one? Surely not. Can you see it? And what's even weirder is the fact that this video I just showed you resurfaced 12 hours before Liam Payne passed away. Pretty convenient, right?
Hey, it's so interesting how everybody on the internet is way more observant now. You know, things aren't just happening in plain.
Yeah, we observing. I see you.
They mean nothing.
The flesh of animals. The Gnostics, an ancient group of highly spiritual and enlightened beings, believed you were not naturally meant to eat flesh. In your time, they might be seen as what you call chosen ones, or starseeds. They believed in a material realm and a spiritual realm that affects you. They saw your flesh as corrupt, but your spirit as your true essence. For them, the consumption of flesh was thought to keep your soul trapped in the physical realm and body, preventing your spiritual growth. They believed the fruits and vegetables we eat are powered by the sun's energy, allowing us to absorb divine energy, fueling the soul and raising your vibration. A Gnostic text warns you, those who engage in harm will face spiritual darkness. Some believe that the practice of eating flesh was a deception you were tricked into, causing you to inherit this spiritual darkness. Their food choices were part of a holistic approach aimed at freeing your soul from what they saw as the corruption of your physical world. While you might believe animals were placed on earth for your consumption, the Gnostics believed the creator of nature placed fruits on earth for your nourishment, not the animals. Ask yourself, would an angel consume flesh?
And then in 1993, he and Clive Davis founded Bad Boy Records. Clive Davis, how do you describe Clive Davis? There's an infomercial about him now, which is a document. It's been called a documentary. And it makes him look like this benign octogenarian that's helped all these rock stars with their careers. But people in the music industry really don't like Clive Davis, most of them.
Why?
And his criminality is kind of amazing. He got busted.
Hold on, is that... Why he look like the actor? What the fuck is dude's name, man? Not Robin Gibson, is it? No, not him, not him. What is his name? Rest in peace. Boy. like an actor.
He's been for filing false tax returns 3 times and then defrauding the IRS 3 times. He was involved in the biggest payola scandal. That's when record companies give money to radio stations to play their songs. He was part of the biggest payola scandal of all time as president of ABC Records. And then there was a Genovese crime guy named Pasquale Falcone, and he got busted smuggling 22 pounds of heroin into the United States. And they just started digging into him, and they came across all these shell companies that he headed, and Clive Davis was funneling money from ABC Records to these shell companies. So I just told you about 2 decades worth of criminality by Clive Davis, and that guy has not spent one night in jail. That's what's amazing about him. So in 1993, I think he takes P. Diddy by the hand and they get on the yellow brick road. And P. Diddy has been engaged in all kind of criminal behavior, but nothing has come out. And I believe for Clive Davis, this is just my surmise, for a guy to commit as many felonies as he's committed and not spend a day in jail, I believe he's working for the government on some level as an informant. I mean, who knows? But so he
An informant for what? What?
Oh yeah, it's a lot of that going on too. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers going to jail and getting released back out here, and that's why it ain't even worth it. It's not even worth it to do no type of dirt, man. Stay clean. Try to find something different to do, especially if you're older. Like, man, doing this shit forever. You got other shit you can do in your life. You know what I'm saying? Change your fucking life. These motherfuckers is trying to kill us through the food and allegedly all this other shit, air and all this shit. So, do something, man. Shit. Stop hating motherfuckers. For what? You need to hate the people that's trying to kill
Makes
you.
you think he's
Trying to
working
take you
I would
out.
say like an informant for the FBI, or
for what? What would they be collecting?
I mean, a guy in that position, I'm sure has quite a panoramic view of certain types of corruption and criminality.
Where? In what realm?
In the music realm.
Do you think the FBI is actually interested in the music realm?
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of laws on the books about what people can, like the payola scandal. It's against the law.
There's plenty of 3-letter agencies in America.
Remember 3-3. Why May 25th?
Women born on May 25th, they are banned from GG33.
Why May 25th?
I remember one day I did a reading, it was 2015, and I talked to 4 different men from 4 different parts of the world: Australia, Africa, Brazil, and America. I'll never forget this day. Every single one of those guys said they were getting a divorce from someone born on May 25th. I'm like, wait a second. 4 different people paid me for readings, and they're all getting divorced or breaking up with the May 25th. And this is at the time when I was considering throwing the May 25th person out of my group. After that day, no question, whatever repercussions repercussions happened, she's out. She was going after me for years, making up false police reports, all sorts of shit.
What are the best employees to hire?
People who are forced. People who are born on 4th, 13th, and 31st because they're going to work their asses off. Or people who are 4 life paths. They work hard. They work extremely hard. People who are forced. Those are the people you want to hire because you know they're going to put in the work. You don't want to hire certain people because they might be again. You want to hire certain people because they might steal from you. Number one, the craziest bitch I ever had to throw out at GG33 was born May 25th.
You handled an implant, and it was the Department of Veterans Affairs gave you this implant. You describe it as these fibers, these spindly fibers, and then you get those away from the thing. It's like microchip. Is that right? Or?
So let me give you the best explanation I can. Imagine a little square piece of metal that was iridescent, meaning different colors, purples and silvers and different colors, that was entombed in a soft, gelatinous, what appeared to be human soft tissue. If you were to remove a tissue sample from somebody, maybe about this big, and inside there was a foreign object that was metallic, it appeared to be metallic and multicolored. And on the biological material, this encapsulation, these fibers, multicolored fibers, yellows, greens, blues, that came off of that central piece of gooey mass. And according to the pathologist, it was moving under the microscope under its own metabolism. Wow. Yeah, and it was removed by a surgeon from the Department of Veterans Affairs from a
all I can say is, man, technology, man, it's so advanced, it don't make no sense. This is crazy. But, like I said, man, the shit that they telling us now, they probably 10, 15, 30 years ahead. Like, the shit they got. So, it's interesting to see, man. I know my kids, man, before, hopefully, God willing, I go, for my kids. I know they gonna see a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of shit. And they weren't talking about aliens and all this crazy shit going on when we was younger.
U.S. veteran who claimed to have a up close and personal contact with the UAP.
Occupants or just UAP?
I don't know about that particular case, and I have to be very careful.
If there's an implant,
HIPAA and patient confidentiality.
Where do we have any sense of where that implant is, or
we have an idea?
Okay. Are you familiar with Whitley Strieber's story?
I am not.
Well, so Whitley has an implant in his ear that has been documented under like an X-ray, and in an attempt for him to extract it. It had the same behavior. It evaded the surgeon.
So we have someone right now. There's a person at one of the aerospace corporations. I cannot say their name because I don't want to get them any kind of trouble. But they've had something moving in their body now for several years, and they keep locating in different parts of the body.
Wow. Yeah. And I've asked Whitley about it because he was at the Seoul conference, and I asked him like why he never removed it. And if I remember correctly, it was something around like he felt like maybe this was the NHI's way of communicating with him, and he didn't want to interrupt that. And it was also his late wife. She had recommended that he doesn't take it out.
Now that's just strange. I mean, if you were implanted with like some kind of device from a UAP or extraterrestrial, would you want it being taken out so you can examine it, or would you leave well enough alone and just leave it in your body? Me, I'm taking it out instantly.
The secret cave that goes into Disneyland. Now, if this works and it actually does go into Disneyland, I have an annual pass. I'm not trying to steal admission. Here goes. It's kind of short.
What?
Man, you know he was capping. You know it was fake. It was cap, man.
Your eyes, you shut off. You don't exist in this plane, and your consciousness goes somewhere else. Like, literally, you have no memory of a giant chunk of your day, and we have no problem with it, and yet we don't connect it to any other realm or the idea of there being other dimensions. You go into another dimension when you go to sleep, okay? You do. You just shut off. You stop. And for all intents and purposes, you are in another dimension. And if while you're in that other dimension, your brain is being pumped with this psychedelic chemical that when you take it when you're sober makes you have these incredible experiences, it just seems like a normal thing to look into. Like, people should be looking into that. Like, what is happening when you're sleeping? You go away. Yeah. And everybody's just so used to it. They're like, no big deal. We just go away. Just go away for 8 hours a day. You know, everybody's scared to die, and no one's scared to fall asleep. You're shutting off, man. You know you're going to be back, so you're not worried. But you're shutting off. Whatever that is, you know, is just accepted. If sleeping didn't exist, it would be the craziest thing. If all of a sudden you told people that they had to shut off for 8 hours a night and just completely not be aware, they'd be like, what are you talking about?
The most important mural that's ever been created in human history. It tells us everything. In this depiction, and I want to break it down, the two beings on the other end are the Anuna. That's why they have wings, and that's why the horns on their helmets have multiple horns that represent status. They are not like we are. They're not kings. They're the beings that we think of as the Anuna, our creators. The two most important symbols for power and strength were two things: the horns of a bull itself in Egypt, and a lion. Now, in this depiction, you're seeing our two Anuna on either side passing rulership to rule over us to two different individuals. One of them is a king, and one of them is a priest. What they're passing is the symbol of the pine cone. They're passing the pine cone behind the head, pineal gland. They're passing the knowledge to the king and the priest for how to rule over humanity. If you look at a pine cone, it already has the sacred geometry woven into it. The sacred geometry of the golden ratio. The way that it's designed within the pine cone has its own sacred geometry woven in.
So we can communicate through dreams now, which is super exciting. But if you were in the spiritual community, you already knew this. Like I always say, they call us crazy now, but then everything we say comes true years later. The reason why this isn't anything new, and this is actually kind of common sense if you were to study science, is because galaxies in the brain cell are pretty much identical. As above, so below. You cannot create anything that isn't already in creation. This is the definition of infinity.
Okay, today, the incredible new iPhone 16 Pro built from the ground up for Apple Intelligence. I hope you were taking notes.
The new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence. Get it with Speed Boost on Spectrum Mobile.
Reason why they are able to be in the same dream, communicate through the same dream, literally because the brain cells mimic the ways the galaxy looks, which means we are just thoughts in God's mind. We are are just brain waves in God's mind, and God's mind in a macro sense is the galaxy or multi-universes. Now, I have experienced this before. If I'm sleeping next to a person or I'm very connected to a person, I will have the same dream as them or a similar iteration. We would both wake up and be like, I had that dream too. That's so weird. I was there too. Some people can even share dream areas. What I mean by that is there are certain places in the fourth dimension or the astral realm where it has a certain frequency, where it's a certain location. And if you are really good at astral projection or controlling your dreams, you can go to these certain locations and you can meet up with certain people like your friends or relatives in these certain locations. This study is amazing and all, but the spiritual community has been saying this for so long, and now it's finally out. And recently, a lot of my followers and customers have been telling me, life feels like a dream. It just feels like I'm walking through a dream. I feel like I cannot tell the 3D apart from the 4D anymore. And this is because we are going through an ascension. All this technology is proving is that we are just thoughts in God's mind. That everything is interconnected. There is nothing that separates us. We are infinity, as above, so below.
It controls all women. Like Beyonce owns women. This is true. Around the world.
I even heard it from Beyonce and all of her Beyonce-ness. Women in the world. Is that a lot of pressure that comes with that? No, because I know the truth. I know Beyonce is the queen of the world. You're the biggest female in the world. No, not. Beyonce is. Duh. Blaspheme Beyonce.
Oh, okay.
So, The Guardian recently said that you're the woman right now making like the best pop music on the planet. As long as Beyonce is alive, that statement is not true.
Thank you. Beyonce's new album release. Woo, I'm excited, but is it okay to release something this fire during a heat wave?
Hey, the glaze was thick. I'm talking about, I never really realized how many people really love Beyonce. And I thought Adele did more numbers than Beyonce. I got to go check and really verify, but like there were some super heavy hitters that were doing some crazy numbers, but they still looked at Beyonce like she was on top of them all. So I don't know what to make of it really. Is that really just people showing love and, or is that some people under a spell of some sort, It's interesting. It's interesting. Let me know what you think though.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
The
Why
other
you point at me?
The other thing I found out was that Uber has never turned a profit.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Isn't that
crazy.
fascinating? So why?
They're worth $1 trillion.
Right. So this is another thing in the book. What the reason Uber is so big is because venture capitalists keep putting money into Uber, right? So it keeps growing. So the stock keeps rising, right? Now, why are they doing that? The reason they don't make money is because the drivers, and they have, there's all kinds of benefits, insurance. They're waiting. Investors are waiting for cars to become autonomous where they don't need a driver. So Uber's going to have like computer-driven cars. That might take 10 years. but then you get all your money back.
Who's gonna fucking trust that? They posted a net loss of $9 billion.
How about that?
Oh my God.
This is going on all the time.
Look at this. In 2021, Uber posted a lower net loss of $496 million. Hey guys, good news. We only lost $496 million this year. Primarily thanks to the business divestitures of various assets throughout its history. On an annual basis, Uber has never made a profit. About that. Wow. That's so weird. I would imagine it's one of the most successful companies that everybody's Ubering.
And this is the problem with our business system and our marketplace, is because in a lot of ways it's fixed.
Oh, they had one profitable 2018. Yeah. Okay. But look at that. Go back to that. Over the next 3 years, it's lost $15.6 billion.
Would you ever have thought of that? No.
No. Oh, but it cut its losses to $400 million in 2021.
So what the reason that the company keeps growing is venture capitalists keep putting money into it. And as you keep putting money into it, you expand its value.
And they're doing it because they believe in autonomous cars?
Yes. Now here's another thing. So why in New York City there are buildings, high-end buildings that they build, right? Like what apartments go for $5 million, $10 million, $20 million, $50 million, right? They're 80% empty. Do you know why they're 80% empty? And why there's so much real estate in this country with high-end that's totally empty? Because people from China, Russia, South America who are doing nefarious stuff, they'll buy an apartment, they'll buy a flat in London for $140 million. You go, what, $140 million? Who would ever live there? They don't live there. They don't rent it either, because then they can't call it as an asset. Investment. Now what you do is this. You take that $140 million flat and you borrow against it. You borrow against it. So now you take that money and you put it in the stock market, and that's how you wash your money, baby. Whoa. Yes. So now in the government,
that's how you wash your money.
Yes, but it fucks everybody else up on the rest.
You are in the dark.
That's from this book.
Jesus.
From a hacker's mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What a dirty business.
Brian Kelly.
And that's why you gotta always follow the money. So many plays going on over our heads, man. We gotta look up sometimes.
So last night I was showing people the location of the comet, and I stumbled across something that we've been massively lied to about. And to me, it's potentially terrifying. Let me introduce you to the Second Moon 2024 PT5. So I went to get a really close look of what this thing looks at, but then I looked at the numbers on my program and noticed the diameter is 2 km, which is about 1.2 mile. But when you Google it, it says it's only 33 feet. But then there's something else that's actually more terrifying. So here we are, October 16th, and you see where the distance is, but watch this as you go to November and December, the numbers get lower as it's actually getting closer. But here's the other thing that's taking place. As you see, hour by hour of the way that it's orbiting is going in this direction, in the northern hemisphere. So someone tell me why they lied to us about the diameter, how it is moving, and why it's getting closer to us as the months come on. Take care. God bless.
You know why? Because they don't want people panicking. Him just explaining that makes me feel a type of way. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you're bringing what? That's where I knew that one. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, I wish that was funny. Yeah, okay, so I want to talk to you about alignment. That was funny.
Aldi creamy fontina and smoky prosciutto and low prices makes you wonder why other stores don't want you to have nice things. Bougie charcuterie, everyday low prices. It's an Aldi thing.
There's a rhythm in the markets, in the resonant echoes of the open bell, in the preludes leading to global elections, in the rising chorus conducted by AI. And if you want to learn to listen for it, we'll show you how.
Memphis, where our new god will come from. As we see here, Elon's AI supercomputer project is in Memphis, Tennessee. And as you heard from Elon himself, how Memphis was the capital of ancient Egypt. And we can see in the Bible, Memphis is a symbol of the consequences of turning away from God, deception, and folly. Now, the Hebrew name for the ancient Egyptian city of Memphis was Nof or Moth. Not sure if I pronounced that correctly. And now the city of Memphis had several other names, including the meaning of the house of the spirit of Ptah. Now you may be asking, who is the spirit of Ptah? Well, apparently this was the ancient Egyptian god of creation, arts, crafts, and trades. He was also considered the architect of the universe. Ptah was the chief deity of Memphis. And we can see here, according to the legend, Memphis was the first capital of United Egypt. Makes me think of the Tower of Babel, where everybody was united. Oh yeah, a nice little hand sign there, Elon. So you're telling me the God who wants to implant a chip into your brain and tie your consciousness with AI, who also says that AI is summoning a demon.
Artificial intelligence will summon a demon. You know, you know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, sure, you can control the demon.
How our new god will come out of his artificial intelligence, which again is coming out of Memphis, which he makes a point to tie in how Memphis is originally from ancient Egypt, while throwing up the hand sign. Nothing to see here, guys. I'm sure it's just a coincidence that the Tesla logo upside down looks like a witch's hat. I'm sure that's just me looking too far into it. Now, this interview that Jordan Peterson had with Elon Musk blew my mind. It confirmed everything that I was suspecting with Elon. And I plan on making more videos on this interview because some of the things that were said here blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind at how nobody else is talking about what was said. And I'm not sure about you guys, but I do not trust that guy at all. But do you know who I do trust? Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who has delivered us and saved us from our sins, and he will deliver us from this evil and wicked world. And with that, guys, keep your eyes focused upon him during these crazy times. Pray for wisdom and discernment, and allow him to guide you. I will continue to do what he has led me to do here. Again, if you think this is all silly and crazy, then you can just keep on scrolling. That's fine. I love you anyways. But to those who see what's going on, who have the discernment, who have eyes to see and ears to hear, you know what time it is, guys. I love you all so much. God bless. Remember, the just shall live by faith.
Found evidence. What looks like a cloud moving is actually just a bunch of drones. Check it out. See that right there? You see that? Well, look where the arrow is. Right there. Look at that thing. See? They're already able to do it right now. My ship. Now imagine if something was above that cloud. You would be able to see what it is. And then think about downwards. If they wanted to put it on the ground, like maybe 20 feet above you, it'd be the same thing.
Like a building or something.
Yeah. It's gonna be the same thing. Yeah, so they put it down below, and let's say you're in an airplane and you're looking down, it's just gonna look like everything's normal. But they can already do it. They can already do it. Yeah. That's insane. The world record for the most synced sequential drones was established in China with 8,100 drones. And imagine if they all can blow up.
Shows 8,100 drones flying simultaneously.
Those are all drones.
It actually broke a world record, a new Guinness World Record. Who's to say you can't fly 8,100 drones around a $13 billion aircraft carrier?
You could cover a section of the sky. Let's say you want somebody not to get any sunlight. You actually block a whole block from sun. You can get all these drones to cover this area. You won't be able to see what they're doing, and they're doing it, and then the drones go away.
Having that many drones in sync at one time is kind of cool from a creative perspective. But, you know, to kind of venture out and say all these other things could happen, yeah, I could see the creepiness in that for sure. Let me know what you think.
Somebody makes a good point. What is this thing up here to the top right? Is that the mini moon? I mean, it definitely looks too big to be a star. So I don't know, I think that might be that Nibiru, Planet X, or alien ship that everybody's talking about. What do y'all think?
Gets worse. So after Jenny McCarthy did this to Justin Bieber, she said this.
Enjoying the night so far. Great. I just got to neck Justin Bieber and grab his butt. I thought that you totally it was like a full-on almost makeup session. A little cougar scary. Yeah. But I took the opportunity in the window, considering I'll never get to do it again, and kind of most of them. We hear that you may be back on the market now and available. Can you imagine how hilarious that would be? That would be the cougar score of the century. Jenny McCarthy dates Justin Bieber. Would you? I want some Bieber fever. I want a Bieber rash. I want it all. You get a cougar rape. But do you think that he's been handling the pressure well? Like, how did you see him out there? Yeah, you know, I feel like he is. I don't know what to do. I can't even imagine starting in the industry as young as he has.
I mean, I don't know why you're mad that people are pointing this video out and it's going viral again. You said it, we didn't. You did it, we didn't.
Is the Illuminati real?
No, I don't know.
She is being truthful.
This is the highest satanic priestess in all of Hollywood. Michelle Lamey is not just a designer.
You're going to name names in these lawsuits. As of now, do you have celebrity names?
I do. I think people already are suspecting some of the names that you might see. I think some of them will be shocking, though. People that attended the parties, that watched some of this behavior occur and stood by and let it happen.
This is Diddy's new judge. He takes his job very seriously. You can look at the look on his face. Look at the way that man's holding his hand up. He don't play no games, and he not finna let Diddy get away with nothing.
So when I look into history and I see that these people were doing these rituals and trying to summon demons, and you look throughout history at how many times elites got caught having sexual rituals, and I'm talking about recent history, like the last 150 years, I went, okay, if they believed in this, and these people that had the access to the most wealth and the most money, that they believed in spiritualism in a demonic way, then people better wake up right now and realize that spiritual forces are still at play. And if you're not even speaking about that and you don't think God is real, then you're essentially the person that's bringing like a knife to a figurative gunfight. Like, I think that this has been going on for a long time in America, and that we have been being impacted by spiritual forces.
This is a pure fact. It's just that there's never been social media and cameras all over the place like there is in today's time. So now we're getting to watch it live. Back then they did it, but it was all mostly in secrecy, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're watching the downfall live.
What you gonna do?
An experiment. It'll be like I waved a magic wand. Every case is an opportunity to study irrational behavior. It's my specialty. The Irrational, Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
Plenty of teen singing sensations on YouTube, but this pair are so popular they caught the eye of the Queen Bee herself. Sisters Chloe and Holly Bailey are getting information. Beyonce 2.0 is ready to soar.
Attention when they sang her hit single, Pretty Hurts. It is now 1.5 million times.
How did Beyonce hear about YouTube?
YouTube. Yes, YouTube. We did the cover to Pretty Hurts. That one, out of all the covers we posted, it got the most traction. And then 2 weeks later, we got the email from Parkwood, and after we received that, 2 days later, we heard she wanted to sign us, and we were screaming. We were like, what is happening? Oh my gosh. Because that's like Queen Bee.
In fact, the Queen Bee signed them to a reported $1 million deal for 6 albums with their management company, Parkwood Entertainment.
We're just so happy because we're given the freedom to do what we want to make.
She's so amazing. She's just a great role model in every aspect of life.
At $1 million for 6 albums, huh? All right.
Ray J running there with his shirt off and shit. You got Floyd Mayweather in there popping his booty and shit on the top of the piano. I'm like, God damn, this is a freak off. This ain't no, all these been just freaking and geeking and thinking about thinking and freaking and geeking and freaking and thinking now. God damn. I know. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that Kamala Harris is Mary J. Blige and you want her to be the president?
Boy,
you want Mary J. Blige to be the mother president? Okay. You might as well just tell me Joseph Jackson is the president right now.
A new exclusive report in Us Weekly reveals actor Denzel Washington had a heated confrontation with rapper Sean Diddy Combs at an all-night party back in 2003. Washington reportedly abruptly left with his wife, telling Diddy, quote, "You don't respect anyone." This incident has resurfaced amidst Combs' current legal troubles. He faces charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has pleaded not guilty.
You know what? I can actually see Denzel doing that. And that's a good look on Denzel.
We have to accept what's going on in the world and be somewhere else in the future.
Don't mind me, y'all.
Like where we were.
Just down here trying to get at this raggedy ass foot, man.
Now that's a first. But you can tell Russell is crossing his T's and dotting his I's. He said he had 9 polygraph tests. That's a man that is not trying to end up like Diddy.
So there's over 10,000 chemicals allowed here in the United States, and there's only 400 approved for use in Europe. What we have here is the wild, wild west. They can hire their own scientists to produce the safety data. They submit that to the FDA. Sometimes the FDA looks at it, sometimes they don't, but they generally just rubber stamp it and move on. Some chemicals that I can talk about that are banned in other countries that are still used here. For example, titanium dioxide was banned in Europe because it's shown that it can cause DNA damage. This is in Skittles. This is a whitening agent. This is something that you can find in like donuts, Little Debbie's, things like that. Then there's TBHQ. This is a type of preservative that literally affects your immune system to make you more reactive to your environment. So if you already have allergies, it's going to make you more allergenic. This is something that's in Reese's peanut butter cups here in the United States, but not in Japan. We've got, of course, artificial food dyes. Back in about 20 years ago, I think, they started a warning label in Europe that says may cause adverse effects on activity and attention in children. Because the food manufacturers didn't want to remove their products from shelves to avoid this warning label, the food manufacturers decided to reformulate their products and take out artificial dyes over there. And
the way she explains it, she makes the U.S. seem like a petri dish full of toxins.
We know, and I knew this when I was 18 because I had a contact experience, that these civilizations have both innate remote viewing capabilities, but they have technologies that interface with that quantum field at the level of a quanta of thought. So not just random thought, but like directional, like if you're looking at the device and you think to it, it transmits to another node, another point. So now we've known this for decades in the CIA and other agencies, because when they started studying the devices, not just the propulsion systems and the energy, but how are these guys communicating? They found these devices. And to me, this is some of the most interesting research that no one ever talks about. But if you look at Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, which is our documentary about contacting and using this technique, the foundation of it is this. It's the science of consciousness and the science of the quanta of thought interfacing not only with each other, but dropping out of linear space-time. And so we call this trans-dimensional physics, physics across dimensions. And one of the dimensions is the so-called thought realm.
Over the course of the next 2 years, there will be certain things that will occur that will let you know that contact is about to happen. Not only in terms of an increase in sightings, but also in the way in which this may occur. There are several paths that may be taken by extraterrestrial beings, such as ourselves and others, to begin to initiate over your heads. They may
Oh. AlwayzA.Gaming. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell twice for post notifications.
You know, extraterrestrials, aliens, if you will. I'm not opposed to it. You know, especially if it happens exactly the way he explained it. You know, the soft rollout. You know, I don't want you showing up in front of my house. You know, inviting yourself in. If you're hovering above the ocean, and I can just look at you and kind of gather, you know, okay, you guys are here. That's one thing.
Plus 12, 13. Astrology, 12 signs, 1 sun, 12 plus 1, again, 13. The Federal Reserve banking system, 12 regional banks, and then the main bank in Washington, D.C., 12 plus 1 again. So they put this all in society. A team called the 49ers, 4 and 9 is 13, 76ers. Yeah, and someone's going to say, oh, 1776. Well, how come it's not the 1776? You know, they said 76ers for a reason. They do this all around. McDonald's, Big M, Marathon, Big M. M is the 13th letter. It's there every single time.
Selling your soul is like, it's like if somebody tells you to do something that doesn't align with your morals and principles. You get what I'm saying? I could have did 1 or 2 things and been what? I'd have been about the 500 million mark by now. Facts. It was 400,000 a day for me for the rest of that year, 2020. Like 400,000. We ain't talking about after parties. We ain't talking about any other business relationships that got fucked up through it. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't talking about none of the other shit. But I'm just talking about what was already on the calendar. You get what I'm saying? It was sweet. I was up out of here. I was gonna have that Tyler Perry motherfucker, that runway in the backyard.
Right.
Facts. I know so many people that would have folded under that kind of pressure. We're talking about $400,000 a day for a year. Oh yeah, some people is gonna crumble, and you know, take it to that next level.
Don't do it.
Take away your freedom of speech. They want to take away your right to bear arms. They want to. They want to take away your right to vote effectively. Text people now, and then make sure they actually do vote. If they don't, this will be the last election. That's my prediction.
10 things you didn't know will kill you. Caffeine. Just 1 teaspoon of pure caffeine will give you a fatal heart attack.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Fucking nose hair. This will cause an infection that will move through your bloodstream directly to your brain, and that's game over. Dryer lint. Accumulated dryer lint over time can lead to fire. Hot tubs and baths. Between 1999 and 2003, 1,676 Americans have drowned in hot tubs and baths. Windex and bleach. Never mix Windex and bleach while cleaning. This will release chloramine gas, very fatal and deadly. Never get creative with household cleaners. Being too tall. You will not live to be 26. Drinking too much water. This will dilute the electrolytes in your blood. This is called water intoxication.
I knew a lot of that stuff already.
Do you have an amazing business idea?
Awesome.
No.
The head of India's space program was asked in an interview earlier this week. The planet is being visited by extraterrestrials. This was his answer.
Planet is visited by extraterrestrials.
Absolutely no doubt about it.
So Dr. S. Samanth is the chairman of the Indian Space Research Station, India's equivalent of NASA. He's been at the organization since and became the chairman in 2022. As a fun fact, exactly a year ago to the day, August 23rd, 2023, Israel lunar rover at the south of the moon.
The planet is terrestrial.
Absolutely no doubt about it. My conscience says I don't have proof.
You're the chairperson of ISRO. Sir.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it comes from out of my earlier state. Yes, out. Systems are there called for this universe. Then they would have definitely visited us if they are ahead in technology than us. 1,000 years ahead, 10,000 years again is also minuscule time scale in the evolution. In a society which is 10,000 years ahead in technology, they will be freely coming and going out of Earth without ever we knowing it.
It's the planet of us keeping lions in a zoo.
Yeah,
right? Give a lion in a zoo for them.
Precisely.
Like
yes.
our planet is the zoo.
Precisely. Yes.
Do you think that they would be benevolent?
I will be never to be in touch with them. I will tell you why. Yes, there is a reason. The biology is such that we are evolved out of a common biology. Every living creature on the surface of Earth, whether it is plant, whether it is bacteria, whether it is fish or animal, and we are on the same.
Now this, I was more like that the majority of you had no.
That's the told your world, but you know what happened. You should have never sued the liquor. That's what you up. They don't give a about that hoes. You fucked up when you sued the liquor company, because the liquor is owned by this conglomerate on Earth, Black Rock people. You done bit off the hand that was feeding you, and now you chop both your feet off and your head's on next. You don't got because you was controlling everything at freak point. Now you think you control the hand that's feeding you. You stupid mother. You sued the liquor May 23, November 23. Cassie, come on, connect the dots. Cassie got 2 checks. She got a check from the company people that put up the donation, and she got a check from trying to keep it quiet.
Do any of you remember the set of cards that predict world events? It kind of became viral in 2020. But these set of cards were made in 1990, and they predicted major world events. I don't know if you can read that, but what does it say? And what happened in 2020? And this also happened. And this, and come on. 2 ways that we can go about look at this. One is orchestrated. Everything's orchestrated. We are just watching a play, the world is a stage. Or time travel is real and we are altering things. So this is discoveries in the science realm, evidence of negative time found in quantum experiment. I'm going to save you reading this article. Basically it means could time travel be possible? I don't know if you guys are following the 2020 exposure movement where all of the truths of what society is was seen, and I can't say much because this video is going to get taken down, but the exposing of people charged, the things that do to young people, like below the age of 10, people suddenly becoming missing, the consumption of the red liquid that comes out of us, particularly through young people, all done by those in control, in power. And there was talks about a time machine that supposedly exists, and it is technology that they have discovered a long time ago. And through this looking glass, they see the outcomes of the world, they predicted the outcomes of the world. So was it really an orchestrated event or racing future? Now the reason why I have Alice in the background is a lot of spiritual people believe that this is, symbolism, occult symbolism. It's Freemasonic because of the checkerboard, and she wears an apron, and Freemasons wear an apron. And there's this one modern sequel of Alice in Wonderland. It's called Alice Through the Looking Glass. And Alice has to time travel and set a clock. Now I have to ask, how many of you have been experiencing deja vu constantly? I know I have. Reality feels like a dream. And so many of my clients who come to learn spirituality from me will say, why do I feel like life is a dream? Why do I keep getting deja vu? Maybe it's because of this. I'm just saying. Truth is stranger than fiction at times. And what we think is impossible, we're just living our own lives. How do we know what's exactly possible? Are we God? Are we the creator? We can't be that arrogant, right? None of the conspiracies that have been out recently, especially in these past 4 years, have become eerily true. Especially with the whole P. Diddy situation and the things that they do, we now have to open up minds to the possibility this is actually real. These were all predictions. So that bodes the question, who's doing it? And why do they have so much power? What is this technology? Like I said, truth is stranger than fiction, and you probably don't want to hear me when I say this. But as a former atheist who has now fully accepted this truth, these are what you call the fallen angels. The entities that are operating all these events that have all of these technologies, they are fallen angels. They were higher dimensional beings, you can call them gods, that were kicked out of this higher dimension because they were rebelling and they were becoming extremely selfish. Most of the 7 sins you can blame on them. Humanity was actually created to save these fallen angelics because we have something called ascension codes that run through DNA given to us by higher dimensional gods. And instead of treating humanity with respect, now this is why Lucifer is jealous of humanity, to the ascension codes, they want to go back home, but only on their terms. And this is why Earth is their playground. Earth is their kingdom. They don't want to leave this place because this is the only place they can have fun. And we are dragged into this unwillingly by them. And that's all I can say about the origins of humanity. If I say more, my it's going to get taken down.
Guys, you definitely need to watch this. Let me know in the comments what you think.
All this bigger than Diddy. Bigger than Diddy, bro. Because you know who else they was...
Come on, damn. That he brought on here in New York City are all John. It's they all in New York City that he in New York City. They turn around and give him the city, the key to the city. All their people that he brought on New York City are always on it. It's always on. People mix together, but if you look at it, you have to say, because of Mayor Adams and his shit with it, it brought on the Southern District of New York to start investigating Diddy on civil lawsuits that was put against him. Because the feds is going after all politicians in New York City.
Are the because well, go back to the Bible and I believe that both the Old and New Testament look with your eyes, but listen with your ears, but you why the Bible has Jesus saying you look with your see, listen with your ears, but you don't hear and watch, you don't get the sense of it. In other words, go back and it doesn't say we think it says. So when God, which is actually Elohim in the plural, and God said, "Come, let us make a mountain," and talk about how life was in Genesis. Rabbi brought it for many years ago. I used to talk to him. And other rabbis, teachers, sat there for hours. They brought out to me, this is back in the 60s, that I was told, and nowhere in the Bible does it say that God created man. Nowhere. It does not say anywhere God created man. What it says is that God created Adam, nothing. And so the scripture actually says, come, that God said, come let us, come let us make our likeness. And so Christians say, there's God created man. Rabbi doesn't come out. That's not what he said, but I believe. And it says, come let us make in our image, after our likeness. Not make man. And things are already here, but come let us make it happen at all. And later on it says that God says, even man has become one of us. Not too much. Because he's become one of us.
Make it 2035. To 2035.
I think it's hard to say where all this could go without sounding like a crazy person. I don't believe that technology is going to be that powerful. I hope that in 10 years we are limited by one magic.
Do you think it's moving too fast?
My current belief is no, but I could imagine things that quickly, and I would say, okay, this is moving too fast.
Like what? What would change that?
If we made an AI system that was better at doing AI research than OpenAI, you could come in and just say, improve really fast. That's something simplest to me, I think.
You're so calm. You're so relatable. It seems like things are okay. Is that how you really feel?
I don't want to give a false sense of security here.
The bottom line for, I think, most people is whether or not you can trust the people in charge. And I know you went through a phase where your own board said, we don't trust you. And then you got yourself another board. How do we know we can trust you?
The bar on this is clearly extremely high. It is clear that it is going to be a very impactful technology, and I think a lot of scrutiny is super warranted.
I actually saw a headline that said you were the most powerful and perhaps most dangerous man on the planet. And I'm wondering how that sits with you.
It's definitely strange to hear you say that.
First of all, I had no clue that Oprah Winfrey was still doing interviews. I thought on that list. But besides all that, if you were paying attention to him, you knew there was something else going on. Either that he didn't want to say or he couldn't say, but the reality of it is he understands AI can get real nasty real fast. And the opposite is true. So it's going to be very interesting in the next couple of years how it all pans out and how it work out. Because he didn't say it was all good, but he didn't say it was all bad. So you have the robots in your house, make sure you got locks on doors.
You can't just probably extract your life. It's repeating the last one. Hold on to the past for your answers that never come. But the truth is, you can't move forward if you're looking back. The what ifs, the doubts, they're not part of the story you're enjoying. The future is calling. The next chapter of your life is on people think. So, turn page.
I truly believe that once the world starts embracing numerology, which is the creative language, we call it productivity, people have to when you become like it's my great which is I'm trying to get a person help people out, everyone knows what the wrong is, and if child uses it, if you do anything bad, that's how it works. It's numerology is not absurd because of 2024 and people are still trying to get you to be a little 5 years old and instead of having answers, you got to read what you know, and it's revealed in astrology itself. And by the way, don't worship anything. So to you, to get closer to the back, that's always also going to be.
They mix it with the corporation demon.
The witch demons. Watch out. Yeah, I'm about to get up here for a minute. I just have to take some difficulty a little bit, but there's still some good info in them videos, man. Allegedly, content purpose only, but it's been a new video for you, so make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, type, post notifications.